We made Matt $143,000 in annual recurring revenue in just 3 months using AI. We booked him a total of 460 appointments, 315 show-up calls, a fucking 68.48% show-up rate with $106,000 on the front end, with about $30,000, $40,000 on the back end in terms of sales. How the fuck did we do this? Well, we're pretty smart. We broke down his entire sales funnel from start in terms of traffic all the way down to showed, called to closed deal. I broke it down here. This is a bunch of other information that you probably don't care about. This is breaking down, where the fuck is it? Yeah, exactly. How he's going from $500,000 to $1 million per month. Now, these are the funnels that he's currently using. They were mainly 3 funnels that he used. First one being a simple, 3 to 5 step webinar series where they consume at least 3 to 5 hours worth of content. It was a simple headline, 30 to 40 second long videos where they would click on the actual ad, they would go to the landing page, they would opt in, and then they would take a look at the actual content itself. Over here, there was a bump order of $17 to identify whether or not they were buyer leads. If they were buyer leads, great. We would prioritize those ones. Leads will then answer a series of qualifying questions. So what is their specific GoHighLevel plan? So this Matt was selling to GoHighLevel, is still selling to GoHighLevel business owners. He does the technical support and onboarding with GoHighLevel, works with the likes of Frank Kern, Tony Robbins, Alex Hormozi, and he's my mentor. So that's how the hell I landed that client. So what's their monthly recurring revenue and how many clients do they have? We then have setters. As soon as they opt in, reach out within 5 minutes, and they follow up the fuck. They genuinely rape the phone. They rape the phone. They try and text them, call them, email them, try and get them on the phone. Once they get them on the phone, they follow up with them, update sales pipelines. This all goes into this tracking spreadsheet that got broken because we got so many appointments. Essentially, it tracks the speed to lead, number of dials, pickups. It's great. We got this from another coaching program, mastermind, that we're in. Goes to a booking page. Now, there were 2 processes that we had here. It was essentially, what was happening was our setters, because they weren't too versed in the actual systems of HR Pro Tools, there were a lot of fucking products, so they were a little bit confused, and prospects wouldn't show up to the call because the actual phone, the setters couldn't explain what it is that they did well enough for the prospect to bother to show up. So what would happen is we would book that lead into a triager. Now, a triager was he's still here, a super cool dude named George. He's a US-based rep that essentially calls the leads up. But since he's, super sexy American dude, and, not saying our setters were bad, I'm just saying, he was able to communicate the value of what HR Pro Tools could offer, and then obviously provide the information. So we had something called Gamma Docs, which looked like this, basically talking them step by step through all the questions that they might have. So evidence, testimonials, pricing, what they get with when they sign up for that price, everything that they would need to know prior to the conversation. And if they wanted to go speak to their wife in the sales process and the sales calls, they could with these assets, right? So anyways, we had the triagers. That's what we did, as well as booking them straight into calendar if they're I want to just buy. So we'd also have a series of SMS and email nurture sequences that would allow the lead to essentially get what they needed. We would also then, in the actual nurture sequence, send them assets like our podcasts, our Trustpilot reviews, our testimonials, such as, Automated Marketer is a separate business to HR Pro Tools. Matt doesn't normally strangle his clients. He's normally quite nice. But you get what I'm trying to say. He basically explains what HR Pro Tools does. And then we use this. And this got broken when we were building this as well, because you can see it looks slightly complicated. We essentially use AI to transcribe all of the information. So, whenever there's an input, so form, voice, conversational call, we get all the inputs, whether they're, what the budget, timeline, current problems are. It would sort them out into buckets, 1, 2, or 3, and then based on who we believe is a ready to buy soon now or qualified but not ready yet. We'd follow up with these guys. With Bucket C, we don't really touch. And so forth. They get to the demo, they show up, they either do a 1 cold close or a 2 cold close. We once had I remember one of these calls, our setters called them up within the minute of them opting in, got on the same day, next day call, close to 15K. Statistics. This is obviously they had their own system, so we added to the number booked and number of shows. Closed deals were between 44% to 54%. Cash collected between 300 to 200K. We know what we're doing. If you need help doing this, we're pretty fucking awesome at it. Bye.